Hey guys, NaturallyNellzy here today, and as you can see from the title above, I'm going to be doing a video based around how to go natural and tips around transitioning and making, the step to going natural and all that stuff. The reason why I want to make this video is because I realized that not all of my subscribers are, fully natural, or some of them are transitioning, or some of them are, still relaxed. So I figure I should stop neglecting you guys and, venture out to, all the population variants of, the people that watch my videos. So I'm making this video to help, those of you that are in between, as far as if I want to do it, why I should do it, how can I do it, and all those things. So I'm going to start with a couple of tips that can help you guys. The first tip that I think is pertinent to, making the transition over is to actually, want to go natural, or decide what it's about or what to expect, and things like that. So I would say research is definitely a main factor that you really want to incorporate into your decision making, because I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot of work as far as like the transitioning phase. And like when I first did my big chop, it was kind of weird trying to figure out how things would work, things not working anymore the same as they did before, and things that will make this journey a little bit better. So I would say research is definitely key. Another key that I think would help in making your decision to go natural a little bit easier would also be to get a support system. Now I had a support system just among like my mom and probably YouTube and maybe a couple of friends, but it wasn't that big of a support chain, because a lot of my friends, they weren't really natural at the time. My mom wasn't natural. She didn't really understand why I would want to do it. My own sister, she's relaxed. So it was a little difficult as far as to get the support train, running along with people that can actually like empathize with what I was feeling. But I would say YouTube is a really good, helpful part of that whole journey for me that did help me go natural. So there's so many people on YouTube that actually documented their process of transitioning, but before they were even, transitioning, when they were relaxed, they documented that process when they were transitioning to them being natural now, and just, actually having their hair grow out. You can see what it was like. So, there were so many people on YouTube. Just type in some of the things that you're looking for, and I guarantee it will pop up. And subscribe to a couple of people, see, whose hair might be similar to yours, who gives the best information, and so on. And I think that would be a great support system, because that definitely helped me and motivated me to, want to document my process, to just keep some type of motivation as far as, doing this whole, well, keeping the morale, I should say, as far as going on the journey. So after you decide that you want to go natural and you got your support system going on, there are 3 ways that you can go about going natural. And I think it's important for me to list them, because a lot of people don't really know how to go about, being natural or going into natural. So I'm going to tell you guys. So the first one is stop relaxing your hair. That's like the easiest thing ever. Just don't relax your hair anymore. And that's like the first step that you take to being natural. Everybody that has, or they're natural now, they're transitioning, that's the first step. Don't relax your hair anymore past the point when you decided. The last 2 steps would be either to big chop or transition out. A lot of people opt for transitioning because they are attached to length, and they're not really sure how they could handle such an incredible change, because cutting your hair really is a big change, and it really does take some time to getting used to. You might want to go out and buy like different stuff. Like a lot of people, they had, maybe shoulder length long hair all their life, and they're not used to letting it go. So some people opt to do long-term transitioning, and then you have some people who big chop. And what big chop is, it's basically the point when you stop relaxing your hair, you're just gonna cut off all your relaxed ends. And that's pretty much the route that I took as well. I transitioned for like about 4 months, so I completely stopped relaxing my hair for 4 months. And now that I couldn't take it anymore, I just did the big chop, and I just got rid of all the relaxed hair. So that's basically the process of the 2. The first tip that I would say would help in transitioning would be to find a style that, works for you. Again, that goes with research as well. So there are a lot of different styles that you can incorporate into your, transitioning journey. And a couple of styles that worked for me were bantu knots, flexi rod sets, roller sets up until my roots couldn't take it anymore. You could do pin curls, you could do twist outs, you could do braid outs. Basically any style that makes your, you're not utilizing heat or anything like that. It's a style that you're going to keep your hair in, and it basically limits the manipulation that you have in your hair, because your hair is going to be really fragile at that state. Because once you stop relaxing your hair from your new growth up until where your relaxed ends are, there's a line of demarcation, and that line basically signifies the the merge of two different textures going on in your hair. So you would think that with two different ones, that would be kind of fragile. So you definitely want to find a protective style that it's not going to be a lot of manipulation or anything like that. And a couple of other styles that you guys can incorporate would be maybe adding some type of extensions to your hair. I know a lot of females were successful with their transitioning. They wore weaves, they got sew-ins. I think lace fronts are also good because your hair is protected under and you're not, relaxing or anything like that. So as long as you keep good maintenance with it, you can't leave it in for like 2 months. You got to take it out and wash your hair, because even though you're relaxing your hair, it's still your hair, and it, you still got to keep it healthy. So if you're going to do the weaves or anything like that, please make sure, you wash your hair and stuff. Another one that is really good is kinky twists. Then you have braids. I think there's Senegalese twists. I was going to actually opt for the Senegalese twist, but I'm the type of person where, I don't know, like I got to play in my hair. So rather than like spend over $100 and get my hair twisted for like hours, and I know I'm going to take it out next week, I just decided that's not for me. But I don't know, maybe in the future. But those are definitely good styles that, you can get your hair. And the reason why I say get styles that are like braid outs, twist outs, pin curls, curl outs, flexi rod sets, all of that, is because, like I said, with that line of demarcation, your relaxed ends are still like, they're chemically straightened. So I mean, they don't curl on their own, but your new growth will curl. So if you try to do a style where it's naturally, curling the relaxed ends like a braid out, where you unravel, for instance, I'll do my hair. As you guys can see, I have a twist out in my hair. And you see how it's basically, it has a texture pattern to it. So if you were to do a twist out on your wet hair, it would basically blend in with your relaxed hair. I mean, it would blend in with your new growth. So that would help in, making the two textures basically look similar and making your hairstyle come together. Another tip for transitioning would be detangling. And I think that this is a really crucial step as far as your hair maintenance, because during this time period, your hair, if you're transitioning long term or forever, whatever type, you're not going to be relaxing your hair anymore. So that means that, you have to be extra careful with your hair, because it is going to be more susceptible to damage and breakage and all those things. So if you do care about your length, I would tell you to probably change your method of detangling. Me personally, I would never detangle my hair when it was not wet or loaded with conditioner when I was transitioning, because I found it to be pretty hard to do, and it was really hard for me to not break my hair or see a whole bunch of hairs all sprawled out on my dresser. So I would only detangle inside of the shower when my hair was wet, and when it's loaded with conditioner. And my hair utensil would be the really big Y2 shower combs. We're actually gonna get this. Is basically like a shower comb that I would use. I got this one from my curl box, but I would detangle my hair with basically one of these. And the reason why I say get one of these is because the teeth are really wide. So rather than having a fine tooth comb and trying to put your textured hair through it, it would glide right through the wide teeth of the comb, and it would help your detangling time. It will cut it, 1, and 2, it will, not take out as much hair. But, be prepared to see some hair, because your hair sheds about 100 hairs a day. And your hair is more susceptible to damage since you have stopped relaxing your hair. So don't be too scared if you see a couple of hairs in the comb. But definitely detangle detangle your hair with a Y2 shower comb. And do it with lots of conditioner and when it's wet. I think it's important to keep your hair moisturized because when you're transitioning, you will suffer a lot of dryness. And I'm not really sure why it happens, but I find that after I did my big chop and even before, my hair was dry. So I continuously had to moisturize my hair. And any type of water-based moisturizer is pretty good. Try to avoid anyone that has like mineral oil or alcohol and things like that because it's not too good for your hair. And I mean, some people just, you know, they use a spray bottle and spritz it in the hair, and then they may, you know, add some sealants as well. Like something that I do is I like to moisturize my hair. I personally use the Palmer's coconut oil hair milk. And after I finish applying that, if I'm not going to do, you know, a curling cream to my hair, I would then get an oil. And the oil that I've been using recently has been castor oil. So I would moisturize my hair and then I would seal it with the oil. And the whole moisture and seal method is, you know, you put the moisturizer in your hair, it's water based, and then you put the seal on top of it to seal in the moisture. And this helps in keeping your hair, you know, hydrated and all that good stuff. And another thing that would help in moisturizing your hair would be co-washing. And I personally love co-washing because I found that it was quick and easy and it limited, you know, my use of shampoo. And we all know that shampoos dry out your hair if you do it too much, especially those that have parabens and like sulfates and things like that. So I would pretty much stick, you know, maybe once a week I would wash my hair with shampoo, and throughout the rest of the week I would just co-wash. And for those of you who don't know, co-washing is when you only wash with conditioner. And what it is the same motion, just like with shampoo. You put it in your hand, you get your hair wet, you would lather it in, and you know, only with your pads or your fingers, not your nails, because that would damage your scalp. And you basically just wash it the same way you would with shampoo, and then you rinse out. And you could do it twice, you could do it once, whatever. And the thing with co-washing is awesome because you don't have to do it one time a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. You could do it at any point in time because it's conditioner, it's moisturizer for your hair. It's always going to be beneficial. So I would say definitely co-wash. Another tip for moisture as far as transitioning goes would be to pretty much get used to deep condition your hair. I personally deep condition my hair once every week. I did it when I was relaxed, I did it when I was transitioning, and I still continue to do it now. And I really feel like the reason why my hair is in such great health, even though it is basically color treated, is because of the deep conditioner. And a deep conditioner is important because, you know, your hair is going to be two different textures, and it's going to be going through things like shedding, breaking, being dry, and all that stuff. So you really do want to, you know, give your hair some extra love. Sometimes, you know, moisturizing oil doesn't cut it, but the deep conditioner gives your hair that time where it could penetrate your hair follicles, because that can actually penetrate, you know, the product you're using. And you could go as far as to use heat as well, where, you know, you can put your deep conditioner in and you could sit under the dryer with a plastic shower cap on, or you could get, like, I know they have those heat turbines where you know, pop it in the microwave. And what the heat does, it actually opens your hair follicle even more and, you know, lets the product soak in. So I would definitely say start deep conditioning your hair if you're gonna, you know, do the whole transition over, or if you do big chops or whatever like that, just deep condition. Another good tip would be to pretty much limit the use of heat. For me, I only use heat on special occasions during my transition and even when my hair is relaxed, because I found out my hair was really thin or fine, whatever you want to call it, when I was relaxed. So I didn't really use heat too much, and when I did use heat, it honestly didn't look the best, so I just didn't use heat at all. But there are some people who do incorporate, you know, the usage of heat into their regimens. And at this point in time when you're transitioning, you know, like I said, I keep stressing, your hair is going to be weaker than it usually is, so you probably don't want to use heat. And from what I knew from my regimen, if I knew I was going to be, you know, using heat, I would call it my heat pass. And what that basically is just a point in time where, you know, the increment of time between when you last use heat and again, like, I think a healthy amount of heat would probably be, for me personally, I would say maybe 3 months, because I feel like that's enough time for my hair, you know, to regenerate itself back to the health that it was in and all. The types of heat that I'm talking about would be direct heat, which comes from blow dryers, curling irons, flat irons, anything like that. I think they have these new roller things where you could heat the roller and then you could put it on your hair. Anything that has direct contact of heat on your hair, I would say pretty much stay away from it. And the good types of heat would be the ones that come like from steamers, the ones that come from hooded dryers, or even some that involve, you know, your turban being you know, heated or anything like that. Direct heat is kind of not your friend during this point in time. And the main focus of this is to keep your, you know, your new growth healthy, because you're gonna have to get rid of your relaxed. I'm not saying they're not important, but I say the new growth is more important than a relaxed hair. So you definitely want to, you know, focus on the new growth. And a lot of people do have the misconception that when they're transitioning out, they don't like the two different textures, so they use heat to try to, you know, blend the textures in as far as making it straight. But that actually isn't a good idea, because it might lead to heat damage further in the future when it's time to cut off your hair. And after all that hard work you put into transitioning, you don't want to find that once you cut your relaxed hair off, your natural hair is now damaged and you have to start over. So again, that's why protective styling like braid outs and twist outs and all those other, you know, styles where they incorporate curly hairstyles is a really good thing, because you don't want to have, you know, heat damage from your relaxed hair to your new growth. So as far as blow drying your hair to get it straight, flat iron it, I would say just stay away from it and try to, you know, do styles that are appropriate. Like you could air dry your hair where you don't use any blow dryers. You just, you know, let your hair dry naturally. Some people don't like that look. So again, you could do roller sets where you let that air dry, or you could go under the hair dryer. You could do twist outs like you guys know it's like my staple thing to do. You can do braid outs, you could do pin curls. There are so many. All you have to do is just type in transition and styles and you will find plenty of styles. Some of the pros of transitioning would be that, of course, you have a lot more length to deal with. You can do a lot more various styles. You can have the option of dyeing your hair as well, because like I said, you know, if you're just now growing your hair out and you don't have any new growth yet, you can play with the, you know, the relaxed hair, because you know it's gonna have to come off. It also gives you more time to, you know, grow your natural hair out, and I guess that might make it healthier as well, because you know you'll be taking care of it during that process. As far as protective styling and blending goes, you'll have more hair to work with since it's not going to be short. So you know, it's just a lot of different things that you can do with transitioning, and they, like I said, they both have pros to them. I really don't see any type of cons that come with choosing to big chop or transition out, long-term transition, whatever. I mean, they're both beneficial to you. You're gonna get to the stage of being natural at some point, and I personally think it's just a matter of preference. So based on you, you know yourself, you know what you can, you know, handle and what you can't handle, and what you can accept and what I guess other people can too, because some people choose not to do it because they may have jobs where maybe that, you know, a certain hairstyle isn't accepted. So it really depends on you. That's why I said, you know, research and your support system is really important, because it gives you the chance to basically sit down and take everything in your life into consideration as far as your hair goes, because a lot of people don't see it, but hair is really a big factor as far as, you know, how you're perceived in the world, how people approach you, and all that type of thing. So it definitely is a personal choice, and it does take some thought. That's basically all the tips that I have for you guys. I hope this has answered a lot of your questions as far as some of my subbies that are still relaxed or long-term transitioning or anything like that. Hope you guys don't feel like I've been neglecting you. That's why I make this video for you guys. And if you have any more questions or anything like that, please feel free to leave them below and I'll be happy to answer them. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.